Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really well as always. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to be doing a little guitar lesson here on top 10 staTues that cry bloOd by Bring Me the Horizon. So following on from my guitar cover that I did the other week, I had quite a lot of people ask me to show them what I did for that. So this is basically going to be what I worked out for the song. The one thing that I will preface this with is that the mixes that Bring Me the Horizon do are really dense. There's loads of layers. The guitars, they almost sound sort of like computerized in places. They sound sort of like tampered with. So this is basically what I worked out in order to get the cover out. So that said, this is what I did. Don't take it as 100% gospel for what's on the track itself, but I think I got pretty close. I'm going to break the song down section by section, and I'm going to show you basically everything that I did for this. So it's probably going to be a good idea for you guys as well to have my cover open on another window maybe, just so you can see how everything that I'm going to show you syncs up with what's on the video, okay? So before we get into it, I just thought I'd talk about tuning real quick. We're in a drop C tuning, okay? So that's low to high, C, G, C, F, A, B. So get yourselves in tune and let's get to it. So for the intro rhythm guitars, you're basically just going to be doing open 2, 4, 2 as power chords on the 6th and 5th string, okay? So it's... Okay, so that's 2 of, but by the time you get to the 3rd one, there's one sort of variation. You walk it up as you would. And then at that point, when it goes back to the 2, he does this sort of little gallop thing that I only clocked this morning when I was picking this apart for you guys. So what that is you've got your 2nd fret and a quick gallop. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And then you're going to have 4 on the 5th string with your 3rd finger or your pinky. And you do sort of like a hammer on from 2nd fret to the 4th fret, okay? Like that. Blink and you'll miss it, okay? So, but that is in that, I believe, anyway. So you got... Okay, so at that point, then what happens is he switches over to some 5th string power chords. He goes for a B5 shape. Walks up to a C sharp 5, okay, which is 4 and 6. And then he goes to a D5. And then finally, E5 right there. So you've got 2, 4, 5, 7, if you like. Something like that. So that's all your rhythm guitars for the intro. Make sure you're happy with that because that's pretty much going to be sort of what you're doing in the choruses later on. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this sort of lead guitar that happens in the intro. This is going to happen in the choruses again, so take care of this, taking care of that. So that looks something like this. So it's going to be something like that, okay? So I've got this sort of 5th power chord shape, okay? 12th fret. My 3rd finger's coming over onto 14th fret. And then my pinky is coming over onto 14th fret again on the 3rd string, okay? It's all sort of based off of that shape, okay? So the best thing for you guys to do is just sort of follow my picking on this. So you've got... Okay? And you're kind of going to want to have your middle finger sort of floating around on the 13th fret on the 3rd string. So you want... Okay? So what's going to happen on that sort of last run of it, you've got that little hammer on where your pinky's coming off. Like that, okay? So you've got... Okay, that's your first run of it. And make sure to really palm your root notes on that one. Okay, so that's your first part. Next part is pretty much the same thing, but this time you're going to have at the end. So there's no hammer on this one. You're just going to be doing the third string and the fourth string to end where your middle finger is. So something like that, okay? Something like that. So you've really just got to watch for where the pinky's going off and on. And then what happens is you repeat the first part again with the little hammer on from the middle finger to the pinky on the third string. And then you're just going to cap it off with some octave chords, okay? So the first octave chord is at 12th fret, okay? And that's going forward to 14th fret, okay? So you've got like that, okay? That is basically your intro lead and your chorus leads as well, so that's going to be like 4 times over, I guess. You play that part twice, by the way, but it happens like 4 times in the song, I think. So again, just make sure you're happy with that, and that's pretty much all your chorus is taken care of. So I've split the verse up into 2 sections for you guys, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to follow. But it's going to start off with this very sort of 2008, 2005 metalcore riff that looks something like this. So I'm sort of pedaling off of this D5 power chord shape. There's your first couple of notes. And then I kind of end that on the open 4th string. Kind of feels like it lands it in the middle of nowhere, but when I was listening to it, it seemed to be the note that you landed on, so. Okay, so very standard metalcore right there, very sort of Bullet My Valentine-esque. Okay, then what you've got. Okay, so I'm going to bring my pedal point over onto 4th fret, 6th string. Pinky's going to be coming back over with the 3rd finger to 6 and 7. And then you're going to wind up coming all the way forward to 9th fret on the 4th string. Okay, so you've got. Okay, so that's. And then what you've got. Now this sounds really tampered with on the recording. Chances are it could even be like different notes that they've sort of like pitched and stuff like that. But these are the notes that I worked out for, you know, if you want to just be able to play it rather than messing around with the notes on a computer in post, right? So after that, kind of go, start with my first finger on 7th fret, 4th string. So go 7, 9, drop flat with your 3rd finger. And you've got 9, 9, 3rd string, 4th string. Then these 2 little hammer-ons. They could be elsewhere on the neck, but this is where I found it most comfortable to do. Comfortable is a stretch of a word because it moves very weirdly. So that is just basically, okay, 2nd string, 9 to 10, 1st string, 7 to 9. Okay. So that is. Okay. Then what happens is it starts again. Get yourself so far to that point, and then you're just going to finish it off on 2 octave chords. Okay, so that's 12 on the 5th string, 5th and 3rd string, and then 11. 11 and 13. Then what happens is we've got sort of the verse 1, part 2, if you like, and that just moves into some chugs, back on the opens, 2s and 4s, all down picked. On the 6th string, okay? So you've got open, 2, 4, 2. Then what you've got is a D5 power chord, followed by a C sharp 5 power chord, and then this very sort of metalcore ending, right? Okay, so just do like a major 3rd sort of interval there. Put my middle finger 7th fret. First finger's on, where are we? 6th fret, 4th string. And then pinky goes up to the 9th fret on the 4th, so. And you stop it right there. Like that. Okay, so that all together, fairly simple stuff. That's your verse number 1 in its entirety. I'll give you a few pointers on the chorus now. It's pretty much the same thing as the intro. All your choruses from now on, you're basically just going to slide M. Okay, which sort of speaks for itself. And the other thing I would say, sort of on the second time round of the chord progression, you're just going to do a little stop before you can move over into that little lead thing that we've already covered, okay? So your chorus, basically, you slide M. And then I kind of stop it right on the 2 there. That gives me time to get up, to play the little lead thing with the octaves again. It's exactly the same thing, so yeah, watch my cover. Hopefully you'll get the gist from that, but that's just the 2 things to watch out for there. Just the slide M and the little stop just before the lead thing comes in. If you're happy with all that, that's all your choruses taken care of for the rest of the song. So moving over into verse 2 now, you're just going to start in a hang, open, and a load of craziness just sort of happens. I don't even think this riff is even played on guitar. If I'm honest, it all sounds like synth, but just for cover purposes, I worked out and put it on guitar. It's a bit of a strange riff, the way it moves. This one did give me quite a bit of trouble, but here's what I played. So you're going to start in your hang. And then I put a big sort of pick scrape in there just to tie me into the riff. And the riff goes. Okay, something like that. So you're going to start off with an open pedal point this time on the 6th string. Those notes right there, you got 7 and 6 on the 4th string. Move into 6 on the 3rd string. Okay, so you've got, and then you've got 6 on the 4th string. Okay. Okay. Then what I've got is this little sort of almost Lydian-esque run if you know your modes. Okay, that is basically going to be that little pattern there. It's just a scale run, okay? So from the 4th string with your middle finger, 7, 6, and then you're going to come up with your pinky onto the 5th string, 9, 7, 5. Just watch for where I'm putting the little pedal points in between, because that's what's going to keep you in time, right? Then what happens is we're going to go back over to our 4th fret, okay, on the 6th string pedal point, and then you've got your 3rd finger for 6th fret on the 4th string, and then what you've got, okay, so that little run there You've got 7 on the 4th string, 4, 6 on the 3rd string, okay? And then I'm going to land it back on 6th fret, 4th string, okay? So that's... And when I land on that last note on the 6th, on the 4th string, I make sure to do that with my 1st finger because that's going to help me get into the run that comes after it, okay? So... Okay? Okay? Then the little run that happens after that. Okay? So it's just all your scale patterns. Again, 7 to 6 on the 4th string. Pinky comes up. 9, 7, 9 on the 5th string. Go. Okay? So you've got... Okay? So that is... So what happens at that point is the riff basically repeats the first part again, okay? And then what you've got is this little run on the bottom, okay? So it's a power chord, okay, 4th fret. And I kind of just doing a bit of a creeping death sort of vibe there. And landing on 2nd fret. So... Okay? Okay? And that is your part 1 of verse 2. So part 2 of verse number 2, you're back to basically your opens, 2s and 4s power chords, but it's just going to be a little bit more jabby this time, okay? So you've got... Okay, something like that. So it's just fairly simple. I do that all on a down pick. Okay, so it's just opens, 2s and 4s. Then you're up to your D5 power chord shape. Up to E5. And then down to C sharp 5. Okay, so... Okay. And then to end that, I just did a big load of 2s. You can throw the extension on there if you want. It just makes it sound a little bit beefier. I'm not so sure if that's on the record or not. So if you've got 2 and 2 there, 6th and 5th string, just bring your pinky over onto 6th fret, 4th string. It just sort of thickens out the chord sounds. Okay, so that's only if you want to throw that in. I think I just did the 2s for that, so either or is absolutely fine. That's your verse 2, part 2 taken care of, so that's verse 2 in its entirety for you guys. So given the fact that we've already learned our choruses, we're going to move over into the first part of the bridge section, if you like, now, which is this really weird sort of Tim Henson licky thing. I'm not even sure it's guitar. Like, again, a lot of the stuff on this song and this sort of new era of Bring Me, it all sounds very much tampered with. I'm not even sure I played all the notes that are in there, but to make it playable, this is what I came up with. Oh, another thing to mention as well, you're going to want to be on a clean tone for this. Okay, so you've got... Okay, and that's just going to repeat itself. So I'm kind of in my F sharp sort of position-wise on the neck. So it's going to be, put my first finger flat on 14th fret, pick that and hammer 16, and then I'm doing 14 on the 2nd string, like that. Okay, next little part. Okay, there's other ways you could go about playing this, but you know, you could go back if you wanted to, but I just found this easier position-wise. Basically, what I'm doing there is I've got a 16 to 17 hammer on and pull. then 17 on the second string, and then skip a string, and I'm doing 19th fret on the 4th string, okay? Okay. Okay, that's your first part. The next part starts off the same way. So what I like to do is I put all my fingers in a row from 14 to 17. So my middle finger is going to be on 15, okay? And I pick 15, hammer onto 17, pull back to 15, pull back to 14. And then I pick the note that I came from, which is, 14th fret, 3rd string, okay? So you've got... Okay, so all together. Okay, and that's the little licky thing that happens. So that's your first part of your bridge, if you like. Just repeat that for the amount of times that you need to. And then that takes us into the second part of the bridge. So for this next part, just keep it all alternate picked. It's all on one string. So you've got 14, 12, 11. And then 7. And then 9, okay? So that's... Okay, really simple stuff right there. And that happens 3 times. And then lastly, you're going to have 11, 7, 9, 6. So that's... Okay. So all together. Okay, and that is your bridge section part 2. So next we're going to take a look at the breakdown. This is just basically a flurry of palm muted notes on the open 6 string. Okay, so you're going to have... Okay. Something like that. And then you've got 4, but these more sort of like ragged on as like chords. So no palm mute in there, okay? So you've got... And then it happens again. Okay? That's how I'd sort of slow it down. Okay, so if you're familiar with this style of guitar, it's nothing too tricky there. Next, you've got this more sort of syncopated rhythm sort of thing going on with some metalcore notes in the middle. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what they did in Lost, actually. But that looks like this. Okay, so that is just... Okay, so that's just your triplets, okay? On the open 6 string. Now that, by the way, you've got our major 3rd interval from earlier, which is 6 to 7, right? And then it goes up to the 9 again on the 4th string. But it sounds like it kind of goes back to the open there rather than the 7 on the 5th string, so like that. Then back to the triplets. Okay, then you've got 2nd fret. Digga-da, digga-da, digga-da. Okay, so okay. Then what happens is it starts to open up a little bit more. Okay. okay? And then you've got two options. You can either go, okay, so that is just 11 and 12. Okay. You can either do that there, or you can do the lower harmony, which is, okay, sounds really cool together. That's a sound that many of us know and love from back in the day when metalcore was at its peak, right? So that is, the lower one is just 7 to 9, right? And then 7 on the 5th string. Okay. Okay, so the choice is yours on that one. And then at the end of it, you've just got sort of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on your 4th fret power chord. And then you've got you've got 6th fret, and you're kind of gonna spread the shape a little bit. So 6th fret, 6th string, and then middle finger, 7th fret, 5th string, okay? So, and that's your breakdown, okay? So all together. And that's it. So this sort of post-breakdown section, or pre-chorus, whatever you want to call it, it's basically on an octave chord, a 12th fret, okay, where we've been earlier. And you're just gonna like that. You're just gonna strum on that, okay? Now that does carry on through the section, but it's one of those sections, again, that's really dense and it's hard to work out precisely what's going on. So what I did for my cover is I did the Lee Malia clean tone trick that he's done right the way through his career. So I switched over onto a clean tone, and I'll show you what those notes are now. But just before I do, just make sure you're happy with that octave section. So it's just... okay. And then it sort of cuts right there, and that's where I move over into my reverby clean tone, which I'll get up now. And this clean tone, by the way, if you like it, it's in the Lee Malia Camper bundle, but if you don't have a Camper, you can get it on STL Tone Hub as well for your desktop. So literally all I did was just a bunch of single notes, very much like what he'd do on Can You Feel My Heart, or you know, think about like Follow You or anything in that sort of vein. So I just went... okay, which I guess is just on the 2nd string, 10, 12, 10. Then I go 9, back to 10, 12, 14, followed by 17, 19, okay? That's literally it. And that's it, that's all I did. Like I said, there are some other different guitar parts in there, but like I said from the get-go, this video has all been what I did for my cover, and what everybody wanted me to show them based on that. So yes, I'm sure that there might be some other lessons to get that part a little bit more accurate, but if you want to know what I did, it was that. So after that section, all you need to do is just slide yourself into a chorus, play it as you would, and that's basically the song. There's all your guitar parts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this lesson. Hopefully you learned something. If you've got any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Again, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to hit the like button as it helps the channel out a heck of a lot. If you guys want to support me on Patreon, the link is also down below in the description. Be sure to check out my band, Lost Cause, if you like metalcore and pedal point riffs and all that sort of stuff, similar to what we've done today. So yeah, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for sticking around, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.